This is Justin with Tom Hall Auctions, and I'd like to introduce Mark Tessier today. We are in his house, and we're going to take a quick tour.
What you're going to see today is basically a collection spanning over 40 years, artwork, music memorabilia, and I'll give you a bit of background on some of the pieces. This is a rare poster of Frank Zappa that was given to Frank on the 10th anniversary of his band, The Mothers of Invention, in 1974. A lot of inside jokes within the artwork. It was basically given to Frank's and the band and the Warner Brothers executives, and extremely rare. I was told there were only 50 produced. But a great looking poster in mint condition.
Okay, what do we got over here? These colorful posters.
The posters here were done for me by, not posters, actually artwork that Chris Kirkwood, the Meat Puppets, did. Many years ago, he started selling his artwork on the road in very small sizes. Well, I convinced him that if he'd do me a favor, make it much bigger for me, and he did. So to my knowledge, he's only made these two in this size. Quite psychedelic, pretty intense if you look closely at them. But very rare as well.
Mark, this looks to be a very special piece. Can you kind of give us a little history on how you got this and what exactly we're looking at?
Absolutely. Shortly after Frank Zappa died, he had a huge studio complex in LA called Joe's Garage, where he stored every piece of equipment he ever owned, going back to like the early 60s. So they cataloged everything, and I actually bought this through the garage sale. And the neat thing was that when I was talking to the engineers, DeWeasel had just given this back to me, he was using it, and I got it. I also got Frank's guitar effects rack too, but that was sold. And these are like original backstage passes they included into the envelopes they sent with the case.
That's amazing.
I mean, it's, parts, it's definitely beat up from years of use on the road. I mean, definitely, it got worked. This is Phil Manson era. He plays guitar for Roxy Music. This is one of his solo projects called K-Scope from 1977-78. This particular piece hung in a record store in 1978 when it was released in England, and I basically turned it into a shadow box and framed it. It's another rare piece here for sure.
How about that David Bowie poster up there?
This is an original poster. When I saw Bowie and the Elephant Man, this picture was taken the night I saw him, and actually the pin there was brought that night too. We only did a couple months on Broadway in 1980.
Okay, anything over here you want to point out?
Huge fan of Snakefinger. Some promo posters from his albums. Some promotional pictures. That's a rare one too from his tour in Germany. This is a neat one that was a flyer from CBGB's, his autograph from CBGB's that night, or the afternoon, I should say, the matinee show. Also over here, you see this is an original animation cell from El Kabong. That I've had that 35 years, and when I got it, I was told it was at least 20 years old then. That's getting pretty old. New Orleans. It's called a Bone Gang. It's representing a band that actually marches in the Mardi Gras parade. The heads actually come off. They're actually like bottles, and you'll see the back. They usually have names. Trombones. Cool Bones.
They're a riot, man. You gotta admit, they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, just the detail on the skulls too. Originally, I guess the artist had done like 3 or 4 of them, and then I asked her to make me more musicians to expand the band. She also did this as well, and we can look at other art she did as well.
Okay.
I'll do a quick thing on both of them, I guess. This is an original promotional poster from Epic Records from 1976 with Jeff Beck. Great shape as well. An incredible album. Definitely changed the shape of music on that one. This is Tilly, the face of Asbury Park, 3-dimensional kind of a shadow box setup done by an artist in Asbury Park.
Okay, a little quick tour of the room.
I work with Brand X. I toured with them. I knew them many years. We actually toured Europe, Japan, and England in 1997. You can see the posters here. Many of them autographed to me. Some of the original promotional posters, as you see here. This one's actually really rare because when I was in England, I met John Goodsall's first wife, and this picture was never released. It's a picture she took of the band rehearsing in 1976. Never published. All right, we're seeing here is a wall of Bill Nelson. He used to do a convention once a year, concert convention that I went to and helped run. You see the various posters of various years. Also there, he created artwork to be sold at the show. I have a number of those pieces too that I got directly from him. Original promotional poster from Red Noise from 1979. That's a live shot that I was at that show in New York, 1984, Savoy Theater. I actually created a bobblehead for Bill for his 70th birthday right there.
And where were those made at?
They were custom made on the internet, actually. Sent them a bunch of pictures and they did them. This large chimp is actually known as the Pondering Chin, as you can see by his pose. Made out of solid white and ceramic, the way the face is done and the ears. Quite heavy, a lot of work involved. I got this actually from New Orleans at the Jazz and Blues Festival. Incredible art show there is attached to it. And I ended up getting quite a number of pieces from the artist because he's so unique in what he does. We'll look at some more pieces now. The octopus, then you see the lanternfish, which is only swims about a mile under the ocean, rarely ever seen. Another fish here as well that he made. And then we've got some figures I'm going to show you too.
Right.
This is a nice scene of Doctor Who and the Daleks. This is some of the famous Daleks over the years. Longest running show on television. Poster is from the London Bridge in 1965 and the classic TARDIS that Doctor Who travels in. Even the Dalek clock too. Here you've got a fine collection of various tin robots over the years. Reproductions, most of them. Various sizes. We've got Robbie the Robot, Lost in Space Robot. You know, some from basically Germany and Japan as well. Another fine piece from the same artist from New Orleans again. This is Dr. Soul in his medicine chest. Really neat combination of wire and ceramic. The detail is incredible. And also over here, same artist, kind of the freak show called Gator Boy. This was done from a local artist. It's an alien guitar. The detail is incredible in it. It's actually working lap steel. You can play it on your lap, and the guitar just screams. You've got the control knobs here. It's one incredible sounding guitar, and it looks great too. This piece is another artist from New Orleans, voodoo guitar. The strings are actually very old barbed wire. Headstocks, skull and crossbones. Very cool, and quite old too.
Here's a quick shot of Mark's staircase going to the second floor. No space wasted.
Not at all. Actually, I had a, he did this effect by Basie. It's an SX70 land camera, and when the picture would develop, they drop water droplets on to form the dripping thing. So you can see, this is the album cover picture. Then they came up with different ones for the singles. I met him in 1982. He's here at the Capitol Theater. That's his autograph. And this is the button from Central Park when I saw him in 1980. This is a promotional poster that Iggy designed for the 1979 tour. One of the best bands he ever had. This is Iggy's signature. Brian James from The Damned. Ivan Crowell from the Patti Smith Group. Klaus Kruger, the drummer from Can, and Glenn Matlock from the Sex Pistols on bass. There's actually, the picture is taken from Haraz, which was a couple nights before this. This was the autographs were done at the show place in Dover, New Jersey. Great show there too. Now this wall is dedicated to the Dictators. Handsome Dick Manitoba had his own bar, the lead singer, for many years in New York City. Some of these posters actually hung in the bar. I got them from him because I spent so much time at the bar. But a lot of New York history here too. This was the 30th anniversary of CBGB's and the Dictators, which it was actually filmed and still not released. That's the promotional poster for it that he signed. I was at that show too. And various promo posters, him with Hugh Cornwell and the Stranglers in '77. That's actually Handsome Dick, myself, and an old friend of mine in 2018 before the bar closed. This is a shot of, this was in the bar as well. This is a shot of the band Television.
What bar was this again? What's the name of it?
Manitoba's, which is his own bar. Avenue B by Thompson Square Park. I think they were almost. There was a poster that was his, a concert was filmed at the Count Basie Theater in Red Bank, New Jersey in Halloween 1992, All Between the Teeth. Rare poster of that. I was actually at that show too. In fact, it was funny because they didn't get all the shots they wanted the first night, so they actually added the second night to get more footage. So it's you can kind of, it's hard to see here, but the way they did the paint on the poster is really cool too. Classic shot of the Talking Heads from '78 Fair Music. This is another rare poster from '81 of the Dregs Unsung Heroes. These are autographs that were taken on the reunion tour in 2018. There's classic XTC, Lloyd Cole. This is XTC's third album called Drums and Wires. And this, the artist who created this artwork is called Jill Mumford. She actually recreated the album cover. I did a limited print. I got one of these from England. This is a classic promotion from Dukes of Stratosphere, the XTC offshoot, influenced Stone Roses and Charlatans. Really influential band. I love them dearly. This is probably one of the earliest posters ever of XTC, from 1977. All original and just rare as hell too. An artist actually made this for me. This is actually a marionette of Andy Partridge, the founder of XTC, playing guitar. Very cool as well. This is a press proof of Alan Holdsworth's first solo album from 1976 called Velvet Darkness. It's the original World Trade Center with him playing guitar on top of it. Very rare. And great album. This is an original poster designed by Alice Cooper for the 50th anniversary of Love It to Death. He would have toured for it back in 2021, but unfortunately the tour was canceled because of COVID. But it's a great rare poster that was never actually released.
Thanks, Mark, for having us over today and giving us a tour of everything.
I'm glad you're here.
And also, just so you guys know, this everything that you've seen, the tour, we're going to have up on tomhallauctions.com. So definitely keep an eye out, and I'll let Mark say a couple last-minute words here.
What you're looking at here is a collection based over about 40 years of me and music and collecting. Started in the 80s, worked with various bands. A lot of childhood heroes became friends of mine. Had my own CD import-export company, had a record label. I worked with bands on the road. And so as you kind of go through the collection online, you'll see different bands, autographs, that type of thing, and toys as well. So it's a serious collection.
And you guys can follow us at tomhallauctions.com for the upcoming auction when we have it together.